This isn't even their final form.
And we won't see that probably ever again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's awesome to see.
No matter what, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
It's certainly interesting.
Wait, what now?
Oh, evil!
God. Well then.
Oh my god.
They came in the right order too.
Good. 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 Good.
Oh yeah. Wait, what now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tavern Talk, where people on other shows fuck up our start by resetting the stream key. Goddamn sons of bitches. Tonight we have nothing on tap because it's mostly playoff talk here tonight. We're seeing really the top teams rising, a few fringe teams fighting their way in, and half the league watching from the bench already. So we're gonna try to break that down as much as we can for you tonight with Week 8 on the book are being played right now, and Week 9 to sell everything. So we're just gonna get right into it this evening. With me, as always, I've got the new bearded beauty, D Lineman.
Oh,
Dude,
nice.
You look real good with the beard, you know? I like that shirt you got on tonight. You look snazzy.
Thanks, man.
Hey, no problem. Mage, how are you and your potatoes doing tonight?
We're good. We're good. Eli does look good. He does look good, doesn't he?
Does he, though? Like, I feel like an asshole now because I didn't even brush my hair. Oh, well.
I didn't brush mine either. Don't worry about it.
We still got we still got Jimmy Neutron up in the corner because I totally didn't get told at 8:01 that we needed to do Tavern Talk. That didn't happen at all. All right.
Have to.
I mean, we were all having a great time playing the games we were playing there. There was some awesome hotzing going on. I was chilling in Stardew Valley, growing some crops. It was good times in Discord. You guys who were not in there before Tavern Talk should come in there after Tavern Talk, and join everybody. So let's talk about the week that was. Week 7. A couple of really interesting storylines developed due to two things: teams overperforming and teams that had an opportunity to lock up a playoff spot, and they just decided to piss it out the window. So the first one that kind of really caught me by surprise was Netherstorm beating the Defias Brotherhood 17-9. Defias has been our predicted favorites since preseason for Black. And Netherstorm has kind of been struggling on and off all season to figure out who they want to be. And now they've put themselves right in the mix by beating Defias last week. As you guys saw this play out, what were you thinking? Any matchups that surprised you? And what do you think this means for Netherstorm's chances of finding a wild card spot?
Well, I'll say at this point, you have to just sort of let the results speak for themselves. And we just have to accept that old Greg, there's probably going to be some time before we can really call him a good THO player. He lost to Twiz 3-1. It's his 19th loss of the season. Jesus went down to Swanky Tiger. AO went down to K2. And again, same story again. Same three players you've been looking at and saying that they should be doing better than they are. We talked about it last week, and we said that the Comp Mushu matchup was going to be a must-win. Well, didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the only player getting a win for their team for Defi's Brotherhood was Aroy, who was continuing another strong season. So, I think that for me, honestly, at this point, it's not. This result isn't even a surprise.
It's still surprising me a little bit because as much as Defias has struggled, Netherstorm has struggled just as much, if not more. But, at this point, like what D. Lyman said, like old Greg, Jesus, like those guys just aren't showing up. And you just have to look at them as what they've been doing this season instead of, their history in this game. So, I don't know. As far as Netherstorm goes, I think they're mathematically alive. They could, if they could still get in, but I think that they're going to have to get in through the division.
Yes.
And
that being said, they're only 4 points out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's 4 teams that are separated by 4 points total. So
Yeah, black is wide open at this point. Unless you're on Avatar. I mean, Avatar could shock us all by turning in 2 20-point weeks back to back.
Nope.
But um, there's something I'd like to point out to those who weren't here for the pick'em last week. All three of us, I believe this was the only match we were unanimous on. Yep, it is. We all thought Defias was going to win it. I do believe we even at that point had the early result of 3-2 Aroy over Crovan when the show started. So yeah, we said that comp match, Comp Mushu was a must win, and it was a no decision. It wasn't a DQ. So you can't really say that a team won it off the back of this or that. You can only speculate about what would have happened. But with the matches that were played, Netherstorm won it.
Yep.
also, real quick, Airway's a god. That dude just does nothing but win.
Dude, some people win. Some people make excuses. He top decked everything. RNG beat me. And other folks just fucking win. So good at it.
It's a winner.
So this next matchup was really important in the overall landscape of Black, as both these teams enjoyed early wins from completely different rosters, even different captains in one case, and have kind of struggled throughout the rest of the season. Initium Novum wins 17-12 over Danger Zone. Hugely important for Initium. They kind of hold their. I wrote this. I didn't really realize how close Black was overall and what was left on the table for Initium. So I wrote that they hold their own fate in their hands, which they kind of do, but it's not theirs to lose yet. They still have to earn it. What'd you guys think of this win, and how's this line Initium up at 101, technically topping Black right now?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of 4 bad teams in Black that are going to end up, competing for this division title. And it was obviously a much-needed win. I don't know what it means for the rest of the season because I still don't know what to think about them other than I think that they're probably not very good. But, 1 out of 4.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Initium Novum was worse than York Champs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I'd say by a significant margin. So right now, I mean, they're holding on to first place, but let's not forget where they got those points from, right?
Right.
They started off with a head start, and to their credit, they haven't given it up, and they've even passed the Defias Brotherhood. So you can't take that lightly, but that doesn't change the fact that this team looks weak. They beat Danger Zone, which is great, but it's not like Danger Zone was too hot either. So we'll see what happens next week. Because I think this week they're going up against Synergy, and that should be a really good matchup for them.
Yeah.
So this is a really good opportunity for them to expand on this league, on this lead that they have, and hopefully when Week 9 comes around, they have enough of a padding that they can hold on to it for first place.
Right, because Week 9 they're coming up against Parallax, and that's not going to be a good time. I don't expect that one to be very pretty. Was that one of our pickups? I don't know if that was one of our pickups. I feel like that one was. Yeah, that one was. That one was. And D Lyman and I are smart people.
Damn right.
And
I didn't want to put my faith in a Anakin. I don't know about Mange, but
yeah, that guy. Probably the marquee matchup of the week, and it lived up to the hype. The Harry Generals versus Team Golden Wisp. It was a 1-point difference before the bonus. Obviously, you get +3 for winning the entire match. D. Lyman, I want to ask you about this because you called it, and you called it so, like, there was so much conviction behind your words. You said Jedi about to get all up in that ass. And
oh, no. I said the opposite. I said Hupnar is going to get it all up in. I was way wrong.
Oh!
Yeah, I couldn't.
I thought I remembered. Then I was looking at that script. I'm like,
No,
Wow.
no. There's no way I was sober and picked Jedi Ninja over Hupnar. No way.
Oh man, I'm so glad I misremembered that because that made that just so much more interesting. Oh shit! All right, so the question I had, as I paid close attention to this one as the week went on, because I thought it was just overall from top to bottom going to be a great time. Both teams fighting for a lot. You guys know how much time we spent talking about this matchup last week. That one ended up being my favorite. I love the whole Jedi story, struggling in the past season and a half, coming back and beating Humpnar, who, I mean, we've said it multiple times, if he plays, he wins. Yet here comes struggling Jedi, uses the Force and pulls one out over Humpnar. Did you guys have a matchup this week that you were following in there that you enjoyed?
The Mark Star double loss result
Yeah.
is a pretty huge one. I think that see, there are a couple of reasons why this one is interesting to me. Is that we all know that that double loss is considered a priest expert, right? Well, he went in and he banned priest from Mark Star. And that's got to be one of like 5 priest bans all season, right?
Yeah, I mean, I even stopped banning it, and I fucking hate priest.
There's 4 priest bans this week.
Whew. Oh man, that's something. But still, like it's a rather unexpected ban. He leaves Rogue Shaman and Warrior open. I mean, you could pretty much get a read on what kind of lineup Double Loss brought by doing that. But it's just it's a huge result for Markshire to seemingly have been countered and still coming out with a 3-2 victory.
Yeah, Markshire apparently did not appreciate being a meme last week. I'm sorry, Markshire, and this is the best way to shut your haters down: is come out and get a win over a quality opponent. This also set up both teams to be in a very interesting position. As you look over at Blue and you're like, why the hell are you talking about Team Golden Wisp having a shot? Well, they're only 7 points out of the last. Or sorry, my apologies. I didn't see that Noob Central has the standings right now on the front page are out of order because there's some live results that are happening at the moment. But they're saying 9 points out of a wild card spot. With 2 weeks left, 9 points is not undoable. We've seen it happen before. And
they were even closer last week.
Yeah, so it's you got Golden Wisp fighting for their spot. You got the Harry Generals fighting for their spot. Right now, as the points go, both teams are technically out, but can very easily put themselves right back in. They're sitting, I believe, fifth and sixth, respectively, in that wild card race between the Cotton Candy divisions there. So both teams need a big performance. And the 1 point loss, I mean, if you're gonna lose, right, like that's the best loss you could have. Not that anybody really is happy with losing, but if you're gonna do it by 1 point. I just lost my spot. Oh, the noobs over 1600 dust. 1600 has been struggling this season, and kind of what I thought was important here is where this puts the noobs as far as playoff standings with Temporal Legends next week, right? So they went Team Golden Wisp into Aeon, 2 tough opponents you could struggle against, into 1600 Dust and Temporal Legends next week. Both teams are kind of struggling an opportunity to gain a lot of points. And depending on what happens with them next week against Temporal, their matchup with Supreme could have all sorts of things on the line. And Supreme's not exactly the team that you want. If you need that like 17, 20 point victory, Supreme is not really the team that you want to be doing that against.
Unless your name is Team Swagboy. then you get in on that ass.
All up in that ass.
Then you get some soup.
So what do you guys think with the noobs seeing right now? I just lost my spot. There we go. Seeing right now in that very last wild card spot, you got Temporal Legends and Supreme ahead of you. After the display you just put on against 1600 Dust, do you think they hold on to that spot?
Did they play this week?
They're playing Temporal Legends, which is a really good matchup for them. Meanwhile, the Harry Generals are playing Team Swagboy. So it's gonna be close. When do they play Week 9?
And Week 9, I know the Noob Central plays Supreme.
And then Week 9 for who was the question? Harry Generals?
Yeah.
They have Aeon, so a tough matchup there.
So they both have relatively easy matchups this week. Though I will say that the Harry Generals matchup seems easier. And then week 9, it looks like the Harry Generals also has an easier matchup than Duke Central. So it looks tough. And I also just think that generally the Harry Generals are a stronger team from top to bottom. So I honestly, if I were to pick between the two teams, I think the Harry Generals make it through. I don't think Noob Central has enough of a lead at the moment.
Yeah, I have to agree with the Harry Generals feeling better from top to bottom. Mange, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I agree pretty much exactly with you. I too think Harry Generals is better top to bottom. That being said, Noob Central I think is on a nice little run here. And I don't know if they can beat Supreme next week or beat. Oh, I forgot who you guys said.
Supreme and Aeon. So Harry Generals have Swagoy into Aeon, and Noobs have Temporal into Supreme.
Yeah, Temporal Legends. So they're gonna beat Temporal Legends. We know that. And I think Supreme is looking vulnerable. So I no God, my heart's telling me the Harry Generals, but Noob's creeping.
But who would you rather face week 9, Team Supreme or Aeon?
I would rather play Team Supreme.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Aeon's stronger from number 1 to number 5. Sorry, Parker.
So just so we can get out there and you guys can properly educate the folks. I will say the positive, and I'll let you guys tell me any thoughts you have on it beyond that. I'm gonna come back up to Entropy here in a moment, but we already alluded to it a little bit. Swagoy gets the win over Supreme, but still feels like Supreme has that playoff spot locked up.
They just ripped open that Supreme asshole and just shoved their fists right into it. They did not hold back.
Yeah, I mean, Slench lost, Cheesy lost. Those guys lost like in the same week. Like I bet if you go back to THL history, that can't have happened more than like once or twice since they've been in the league losing the same week. Yeah, and the Supreme 4 and 5 seeds didn't get it done either. So I gotta whoop that ass, and I think Supreme is looking vulnerable.
So speaking of vulnerability, Entropy. Hold on, wait a second. I had a thought there and I just lost it. All right. Entropy gets the win over Temporal, and another one that feels all but locked up there. And this week, there's some major hype city as Entropy and Supreme will throw down in the Battle of the Blue Titans. There is really potential for this matchup to go either way, and I think it's going to drastically change the overall dynamics of the playoff picture for absolutely nobody. I think these two guys are unless there's like a 20-point victory and somebody barely puts up any points, I think we'll see Blue pretty much looking the way it's looking, even with the loss to Swagoy, which Entropy is no Swagoy there, guys. But D-Lyman, any insight you wanted to give us on the week that was with Entropy and Temporal?
Well, the one thing about Entropy that may be flying a bit under the radar is that our seeds just keep shifting all over the place. I went from 4 to 1. Crayon went from 3 to 4. Smoked Salmon went from 2 to 3. Phenom went from 1 to 2. And Phenom his seed has shifted again because now he's our 3 seed. Smoked Salmon's the 2 seed, and it's happening a lot. That being said, I don't know. I mean, we felt good about it going in. Hector Howell's been having a struggling season. I just went out there and just did the same stuff I've been doing all season. And Imbolc's been struggling. They're just a struggling team. We didn't really do anything special. We just played Hearthstone well.
Yeah, and to your point there, it's good. This results in yet another flip. Phenom going down, Smoke Salmon coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what though, you guys got a few dudes down there that you just feel all right. Like either of them in the 1 seed. At one point or another, all 3 of your top 3 have experience being number 1s on either this team or other teams. So and have won there as well. So it's interesting. It reminds me of season 1. Team rank 5 when Mange, Cassidy, and was it Imbolc Mange that was the third one that was rotating up there with you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, we tumbled.
and Crackshot doing his thing down there, man.
Yo, Crackshot's good, man. He got there.
Entropy looks really good, even if they are kind of like this amorphous top 3 seed.
Um, so NWA is stuck in a pretty shitty position. Uh, NWA is in a situation where if they were in black, they'd be division leaders right now. Over in yellow, they are in third place. Um, so they're really fighting for a wild card spot right now. They would have to steal Black's wild card spot theoretically. It doesn't really belong to anybody. It belongs to the team that earns the points. But you think about possibly 2 teams from each division going in, and the way they decided to start that off was by losing to the last place in yellow Synergy. Um, I
Yeah.
mean, shooting
Albeit a
yourself in the
close one.
foot.
To be fair, they didn't get blown out. It wasn't like they didn't get swagoid. So it's not it wasn't a loss to be too worried about. You still put up 13 points. And you know, obviously, like, you're not trying to catch up to Hearthstone Academy or Parallax. You're just trying to stay ahead of those black teams. And you're looking at the black teams. Um, you know, they were far. They're not exactly far ahead of you if they even are. So all you need to do is stay close and then have one good week out of these next 2, and you're probably in. It
Yeah,
doesn't feel good in the synergy, but it could have been much worse than it was.
so NWA is going to have a pretty rough time uh, this week with Parallax, followed up by Netherstorm. Uh, but if you can keep that point range going to D Lyman's point, you should be all right.
Yeah.
Uh,
That being said, they're only 6 points ahead of second place in Black Defiance Brotherhood, and we've seen Parallax just really put some work on some teams, right?
right.
So that's really dangerous for NWA. Like, NWA can't let Parallax put like 18 up on them. You just can't let that happen, and it's very possible for that to happen.
Yeah, you gotta score as many points as you can too. Even if like Parallax does put up the 18, which
And I mean 18 before the PR bonus for winning. I
right,
mean, like,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
like, really to work on them.
So that's at least 4 victories and a 3-2 loss. Yeah, that'd be a tough hill to climb. And that means that maximizes your possible output to what 12 plus. Well, I mean, no, yeah. Sorry, I could do math. Yeah, that puts him in a real rough spot.
Yeah.
So Parallax, just to comment on Parallax and Hearthstone Academy, both do the let's win and make sure that Yellow understands that they're done
Yep.
sort of thing. Hearthstone Academy put the whooping on our squad with 2 sweeps. Kick Tripod and myself both unable to win a game. And Parallax does their thing against Team Avatar. Although Avatar tried to put up a fight, much better than we did over at Team Well Met, but they pretty much shut the door on Yellow with those victories. So the rest of us are playing for wild card spots if we are still statistically alive. A few of us have all but canceled ourselves out. Which brings us to week 8, guys. Week 8 has some kind of make it or break it deals here. You look at mainly black and yellow as everything is so close in black with 4 teams fighting for the division lead, right?
Mhm.
And then with not purple, sorry, pink and blue, it feels like everybody's fighting for wild card spots. Um, and then NWA should try and figure out where the fuck they fit into all this. It starts off with Defias Brotherhood against Hearthstone Academy. Currently, Defias is sitting number 2, and Hearthstone Academy is sitting number 1 in their divisions. Hearthstone Academy has really nothing to gain and nothing to lose here, while pretty much everything's on the line for Defias. Do you guys think there'll be some complacency / can Defias use that motivation to lock this week up?
Well, Hearthstone Academy is a new team. I'd be shocked if they were ever complacent. right? They're a new team making a huge statement, and I think at this point, they like if this were, say, for instance, like a team rank 5 that isn't having a crazy historic season, but is having a really, really good season, then I can see that argument being made where maybe they like won't try, they won't go full try hard mode in preparing for their matches this week. But this is a new team that we're talking about making a huge statement, and I think they want to keep it up more than anything else. So I don't think that's going to be an issue at all.
Mage?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think on top of that, I think Defias is just done. They've been kind of sputtering here for the last couple of weeks. Jesus had to be subbed out. He has some stuff going on. I think that they're just also looking at the score. Aroy has already lost to Brewski, so complacency or not from Hearthstone Academy, I think Defias can't win.
Defias does have Avatar coming up next week, so if they can do something to hold on to as many points as they can, and depending on the other performances within Black, we'll see what their future ends up looking like. That is one of our pick'ems for this week, guys. So when it comes down to it, and you gotta lock one in, D Lyman, who you locking in?
Hearthstone Academy every time.
Mange?
Yeah, Hearthstone Academy.
And I cannot disagree with you guys on this one. Despite playing for their future, I think you guys hit the nail right on the head there. I think they're on the downward slide at the moment. Speaking of downward slides, Danger Zone is going up against us over at Team Well Met, and there is already a result in from the 5 seed, 4-2, Team Well Met up. When you look at the rest of this lineup, however, there are places for Danger Zone to grab some points here and make a push for that wild card spot, if not division lead. What do you guys think?
Man, I mean, Danger Zone just looks bad, right? Like you look at that team, it just looks like a bad team. With the exception of possibly Delta 4-1 in the 4 seed. You just don't feel confident about. I don't feel confident with any spot in their lineup at this point. I mean, they got the win over Initium Novum, but Initium Novum was another large question mark team, and the wins that they got were 3-2. So it still doesn't inspire that much confidence. But that being said, it's not like Team Walmet looks a lot better. So
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but
so I mean, but the thing is, getting that win in the 5 seed is already huge, right? Like we already know that Jack Sock sucks, so him getting a win, drastically changes the outlook that Team Walmet has in any given week, right? Because we know Hot Asian Girl is good. We know that Eldorian can get a win. So if they can get a win out of one of those two players, despite the fact that Kick Tripod and Bitbeaker, if I'm not mistaken, both of those players have been struggling all season.
Yeah, that's one of the points I was going to bring up is, do you think Jing could get this one over Tripod?
Yeah. Record-wise, Jing Broda is doing pretty well. He's 4-2 this season. And I think Kick Tripod is the opposite. He's like 2-4, 2-5, something like that. So I do like Danger Zone there. And I do like Danger Zone in the 4 seed as well. I know Bitbeaker has been struggling mightily in THO. So I think, despite them, both of these teams really struggling most of the season, I think it's end up being a tight one.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tight one, but I'm actually willing to put some faith in Team Walmet in this one.
Are you willing to lock that in?
Yeah, I'm a believer in Eldorian, and I'm a believer in Hot Asian Girl.
Mange?
I'm gonna go with Team Walmet as well.
I'm gonna.
I think Hot Asian Girl is the difference for Team Walmet. I think that's gonna be the big favorite for them.
Yeah, I think Hot Asian Girl will pick up the win, and then I'm asking one of my 3 other guys to grab a win in their matchup. So I'll go with Team Well Met here as well, not just because it's my squad, but I actually think we got a shot at this one. Moving on down to this one. This one's not a pick'em, but it is a. Actually, it's something that I think they could lose. Initium Novum versus Energy.
They could definitely lose that. I mean, Xenergy just beat NWA.
Yeah, Zenit just beat NWA, and also Initiative Novum just doesn't look good. Um, yeah, I think. I mean, I think they have a really rough matchup in the 1 seed, Initiative Novum. I think they have a really rough matchup, really 1 through 3 at this point. I think they have a rough matchup in the first 3 seeds. Arcane THL is having a good season. I think he's been faltering over the past few weeks, but I don't know. I haven't really been following Zab or Brentley 00 to know what they've been doing this season.
I do know, or I believe that Slime Guy has not won this season, and Zab is a multiple-time Legend player. So, I think I like Xenergy just all 5 spots. I think that they're favored in literally 5 seeds.
Yeah, and apparently, I'm looking through past weeks, and Zab was also playing in higher seeds for them.
Yeah. Part of the reason I chose this was as I was looking at it, I originally skimmed over it, and then when I went back, I was like, wait a minute. I think Xenergy actually wins this. So Initium is playing for their future, trying not to blow the lead that the Odd Champs handed them. We'll see what happens with it. If it were pick 'em, I think we'd all go Xenergy, but it's not. So we'll move on to a fantastic matchup. This is one of my favorites from this week. As NWA is fighting for their playoff future against Parallax, who's locked up theirs, but is definitely out to prove a point. Why can't I think of Parallax's name from last season? It's completely escaping me right now.
They were the damaged ones.
Thank you. I should have just thought of Jerry, and I would have known that. Definitely out to prove points. Getting number 1 fuels both these teams. What do you guys think, man?
Man, I actually think that this one is going to be pretty close. I think it's going to be really close. I think NWA really gives Parallax a run for their money here. I think Tony Montana is a strong player. I think Super Sam is a stronger player, but they're bringing the same lineup as far as classes are concerned. And I think that they're both strong enough that if they're bringing the same lineup, that really can go either way. I don't think there's a large enough difference in skill there. Then you go down, and NWA has a sub there in the 2 seed. I think he subbed for them. Did he sub for them last week as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even looking at their lineups now, you would guess that Erakoki would be favored over Houdini given an appropriate ban, but we don't know that much about Erakoki. Going down, I think Arthur Rose. I think Salt is. I think Salt would be favored over Dyrus Bear. I think that Eridan would be favored over Force of Will if their lineups matched up a little bit better. But I like Force of Will's lineup, so it's really tough going down.
A question for you, D Lyman, as I look at this, and Mange, feel free to also jump in on this. I noticed something about NWA's lineup. As you look at the top 3 seeds, bringing what I think somebody told me 60% of the league brought this week in Mage, Rogue, Shaman, and Warrior. How do you feel about the bottom 2 seeds bringing Warlock?
Warlock's a very strong class. Warlock is. It's not. It honestly, if it weren't Rogue, like I brought Mage, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, and if it weren't Rogue, it was going to be Warlock every time. I don't think there's anything. I think it's perfectly fine. In fact, it's even better because Rogue is a harder class to play. Yeah. It's a harder deck to play than Reno Lock, so perhaps you don't want your 4 and 5 seeds on it.
Yeah, that was the point I was going to make. Rogue is not an easy deck to play, and while Reno Warlock has some complicated turns, overall I think it's much easier to pilot than Rogue is. So I think it makes sense for the 4 and 5 seeds to bring something a little bit easier. Well, that's still pretty strong.
Man, I'm sitting over here thinking Rogue has been my most reliable class all season. Bible thumb. 5 seeds can't play Rogue. So, Mange, how do you see... we heard from D. Lyman on the matchup of NWA and Parallax. What are your takes on
it? It seems pretty close throughout. Salt has struggled a little bit this season, but Dyrus Bear is only 3 and 4 on the season as well, so he's struggling. I know firsthand from Salt himself that Drudded is in Gemini's head. Salt been telling Gemini that she can't beat Dreaded because he beat her last season, and I guess this is really shaking her up. So, yeah, good news for Parallax is that after starting off 0-3, Houdini's won 4 straight. He's turned it around and is now kind of been he's been on a run that we all thought he was capable of as a player. Don't know anything about Eric O'Key other than that he beat Sab last week. So it seems pretty tight to me. But it's pretty hard to pick against Parallax when they haven't lost all season. So I think I'm gonna go with Parallax.
Parallax it is. D-Lyman, I'm sorry. Did I miss your lock-in?
I didn't lock anything in, but I'm willing to say NWA just for the sake of coming out ahead this week in picks.
All right, because you knew I was going to go with Parallax as well, didn't you?
Of course you were.
I think that there's a few of these I can't call at all. I don't know enough about Eriki to make a call on it. Houdini, I know, so I don't know. I like Super Sam. I like Gemini. And I'm going to go with Houdini as the known, but that's kind of dumb to pick against the unknown. But as Mange was just saying, he's on a little bit of a hot streak right now. So I could pick 3 of the 5 for Parallax. I don't know if I could lock in 3 out of the 5 for NWA. So I'll throw mine in for Parallax there. So here's a thought for you. These next 2 kind of are interesting, not because of who they're actually the next 3. It's more about the playoff race than the opponent. So we touched on the Noobs versus Temporal a little bit. We touched on the Harry Generals versus Swagoi. So what about Team Golden Wisp with Aeon? So let me say that again. Noobs have Temporal. The Harry Generals have Swagoi. Team Golden Wisp has Aeon. Is Team Golden Wisp able to hold on after this week?
I don't think so. I think that Aeon. I think that they're gonna slap Team Golden Wisp around pretty good. Aeon's gonna slap them around pretty good. I think that. I mean, Kugmar already has a win. I like Darkside over Jubik's Cube. I mean, at this point, the Town Drunk's been putting together a pretty solid season. So has Sunshine. But, you know, I really like what they got going on in the 2 and 4 seeds. I think Top Hat Demon can beat anyone. I honestly can't really make a confident pick between him or Double Loss, but I think that I might be willing to say the Top Hat Demon might be favored there. I think that Hupnar probably gets a win over Ridiculous, but that might be their only win.
Yeah, I think if Team Golden Wisp wanted a shot this season, I think Alec really needed to upset Kungmar. That was like one of their closest matches on paper. I do like Sunshine over Town Drunk, despite Donnie putting together several quality wins. But I think Darkseid and Top Hat Demon are going to end up being too much for their opponents. So I like Aeon as well.
So that was one on the pick'ems. I was hoping that the fuel of it's kind of for those who aren't following along here. The Noobs and the Harry Generals have potential to gain a lot of points this week. Obviously, the matches have to be played. Swagoi beat Supreme last week, so there are no givens in Hearthstone whatsoever. But they have potential to gain a lot of points, whereas Golden Wisp is going up against a tough opponent here. I was hoping that maybe that fuel would be enough to put them ahead, but it sounds to me like we're going to sweep the pick'em, all 3 of us going in favor of Aeon. Is there a matchup that I missed that either of you want to talk about? I do know that the Bad Hombre 1600 Dust is looking pretty juicy, Mange.
Bad Hombres were terrible, and 1600 Dust at this point is 4 free agents. So nothing is very interesting about that
one. Hey, Entropy and Supreme is pretty juicy. But besides that, not really. I mean, we already talked about most of the matchups at this point.
Part of the reason I avoided, for those who are like, wait, how did Jack Sox not talk about 2 of the biggest teams in the league going at it? There's already 2 results in. both sweeps, which actually makes it even better because they're in opposite directions. D lineman, wait a minute. Am I reading this correctly? Yes, I am. So this is shocking for two reasons here. D lineman sweeping Slimsh, not because D lineman got the sweep, but because he got over Slimsh of all people. Pog champ D lineman, congrats, brother. And smoked salmon getting swept by Jeezy. D lineman hates me so much.
I really fucking do. You want to know why? This is fucking karma. All right, because the old bearded beauty on an old episode of Tavern Talk, because Jack Sock's brilliant fucking host decides to answer the question, who do you think is the most overrated player in this godforsaken fucking league? And then what is the near unanimous answer where the only person, the only reasonable mind in the room, Cassidy, decided, you know what, I'm going to stay away from this one. But no, Jack Sock, Slimsh, and fucking Rad Dreams had to go and say, D. Lyman's the most overrated player in this league. Well, this is the beginning of my crusade. I wanted to be in the 4 seed because hopefully at some point in the playoffs, if I remain in the 4 seed, that maybe Jack Sox would find his way up there so I can beat his bitch ass in the 4 seed. And then, no, instead I got an even better one. I got to move up to the 1 seed and sweep the dog shit out of Slinch. So this is fucking karma. And before you do this whole, oh, well, we really lit a fire under you. We really motivated you to do better because, you know, adrenaline really helps you think while you drag fucking cards onto the board. No. Fuck you, Jack Sox. Take that. Who's overrated now, bitch? That's all I gotta say.
I have no response. I'm tapping out.
So, how annoyed are you that everyone is surprised that you won?
I'm seriously, because you know what happened 3 seasons ago when everyone was sucking my fucking dick. Everyone was talking about how I was gonna take this league by storm. Everyone besides me was talking about this. And then when I wasn't taking the league by storm, I became overrated. But now I'm getting the wins that people expected. And now, oh my god, what a surprise! D. Lyman beat Slimsh. Suck my dick, Jack Sox.
So for the record here, it's not that he won that I'm shocked by. It's the fact that Slimsh got swept. Yeah, one of the things that I think is, and Slimsh has said it himself, is one of his greatest strengths in THL play versus ladder play, is the THL format's ability to allow you to prepare and attempt to predict what your opponent is going to bring. So the fact that he got chest moved to a sweep, that's what's boggling my mind right now. And I don't want to sound like I'm sucking his dick after everything he just said, but I am fucking like.
That's okay. The audience knows. Everyone knows you are. I just feel bad for D. Lyman because now I've got to see like probably half a dozen people now like, wow, D. Lyman, you won.
It's not D. Lyman you won it for me. It's D. Lyman you swept. That it's like.
Whatever.
That's fucking impressive, dude.
Well, fuck off. I swept half the league so far this season. Slim ain't nothing. He's not special.
Moving on down the line. So there is a lot to still be played between Supreme and Entropy. You have Parker versus Phenom, which I hope is a great matchup. Phenom has struggled a little bit in THL, but he's a known player in the community, and MP Parker has been a known player for a while. Crayon and Detective Diamond, I mean, Double D, sorry, brother. I kind of feel like you might have met your match this week. Crayon is a fucking stud. And Crackshot and Senior Saxon should be a fantastic one.
No, it's not.
Come on, I'm trying to give some hope here.
That ass. It's not even going to be close.
So there's a lot left to be played, and we'll see what happens. We thought at the beginning of the season Supreme's recipe was going to be win the top 3 and then move on, but we've seen their bomb to hold their own. I don't know with there already being a loss in the top 2 what's going to happen, but it kind of feels Entropy, man, at this point. But we'll see. I'm not writing Slimsh and the squad over there at Supreme off yet, but I will say that if I were Detective Diamond, I'd be feeling the pressure. No pressure, dude. Good luck to you. So the Q&A this week, guys, was a little bit weak.
Oh, and I gotta tap out for it. Gotta go watch the vagina monologues. Bye. Bye, friends.
Yeah. Are you actually leaving?
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
PogChamp. No, I'm just kidding. The vagina monologues. So we do
Just
have,
you and me.
yeah, we only have a few things left to get done here.
Alright.
We have the Q&A, which overall, I was a little disappointed, to be honest with you. There was one question I thought was kind of fun to talk about. By the way, DeTrucci gave some awesome ideas for co-host or guest this week. I hit up 2 of them. They weren't able to make it. There was one that I forgot what his battle tag was. I believe it was me, myself, and I.
Yeah. Let's get him on next week.
Yeah. Really would like to set that up. He even said he would be willing to do it. So let's
Yeah,
make
he's
that
in chat.
happen. Yeah, this could be considered your official invite. Hit me up. We'll set up the details. You hit me up your email on the Facebook group, wherever. Here it is. So this is from Petrucci, and for those of you who don't know, Petrucci does a lot of work on our creative side. In the past, he's done things like created banners, championship posters. Him and Necro Havoc were like the first to really dive into that for us. And this is kind of both, hey, what do you think? Slash, are there some ideas? Slash, can you give me feedback on my work so far? Um, how do you guys think the season 5 faction theme has been so far? And are there any plans for season 6 themes? Slash, can we give him any plans or any thoughts in chat? Feel free to throw something out there if you have an idea for season 6. Mange, with the release of the Mean Streets, what do you think about factions and the way we split things up?
I think that they're exactly like divisions and nothing really changed. I
Did you
don't
did you like the overall theme
for THO.
for factions? Yeah, being the title for this season.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's some pretty cool imaging and stuff that went out. Nate did a really good job with a lot of that shit. It was a nice little twist on, or a nice little flavor twist, I guess, on something that already existed in divisions. That's cool.
What would you like to see for potential future themes that you think could be funny?
Well, we have pretty much gone with every recent expansion for the last however many seasons, so I'm sure that's what we will continue to do. But when we were coming up with this faction theme, Flemsh had a really great idea of making the divisions and the factions bosses from the adventures like Kel'Thuzad, Archthief Reform, those guys, and I think that'd be kind of cool. But other than that, nah, I just you know see what faction or what not faction, see what theme we get with this next expansion, and see how we can incorporate that into the THL.
By the way, we already, not to completely cut off your answer here, but we already got confirmation. We will have him on next week.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah, I would like to. I like the idea of sticking with whatever the theme of the expansion is, but I'd also like to see some originality coming out of our history as a league. I think it would be cool. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything specific, but I would love to see something rooted in THL's history. Um, Maybe like some retired teams or retired players. I don't know. Something stupid and silly like that would make me. I would love there to be a season Gosu Casuals or a division Gosu Casuals.
Oh,
Right? Gosu Casuals, Team Rank 5, Swooty Woody.
maybe. Maybe.
uh,
Why not?
um,
That's interesting. We have these town halls that are going to be happening intermittently, these board meetings. So when the next season's around the corner, you should totally submit that as a proposal.
then I would actually have to put thought into it, and thought hurts, man.
Well,
Thinking's hard. Um, and so Slim, if you're in Chatland, man, or maybe did Slim Short give you Salty Saturdays lineup? I forgot about that.
No, it is still up in the air.
Okay. So, guys, if you've gotten an email from Slimsh regarding Salty Saturday, please make sure to respond. Let's figure out what's going on with Salty Saturday. And, sorry, chat's just ripping on me. Feels bad.
Well, fuck you, chat.
This show was at its best when Jack Sock's getting wasted every time. You know, man, I got in a lot of trouble. I made the overrated comment while half a bottle into Tito's. Trying not to be that person anymore. You can ask Brunson. I don't think he's ever coming back to my Twitch chat again because I went bully somebody. Try not to be that person anymore, guys. So the PSA section, Mange just let you in on one. There is going to be a town hall. There was an announcement made by, I want to say, Hector Howell made the announcement on the Facebook group. 227, which is next week. There's going to be the first town hall segment. You could go read his post. It tells you exactly how to do it. There's a 1, 2, 3 step, a frequently asked questions. It's all right there. That's Jake Henry, his post for those who are not familiar with battle tags and real names yet. Our meme of the week. Our meme. Why is my scenes aren't switching, bro? The memes were a little weak this week, to be honest with you. But we do have two that were voted in. I don't know which one was which, man, as far as first or second. So we'll give. I'm looking for it right now. Why can't I find it? I saved it. What did I save it under?
The memes are in the Tavern Talk document.
Yeah, but I also have them in a folder so I can pull them up for OBS. All right, so second place this week is going to Gideon Echo. I believe he's speaking on behalf of everybody in Discord. And here we go. We have President Arhat signing in an executive order that there shall be no name changes in Discord. The cropping is fantastic. There is none. Literally just pulling his Facebook picture straight off and throwing it onto Mr. Trump's head there. What are your thoughts, Mange, on Gideon Echo's President Arhat?
Yeah, I don't know where this trend started where you can't crop well because it's like not cool enough. Oh, that's fucking stupid. Crop your shit. Make it look like funny. Like that's just a fucking square on another square. I think the idea is funny, but the execution sucks.
I'm just glad that my cropping is not out of style. I got yelled at for cropping. This feels good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they yelled at you for cropping, but they're wrong.
I hope this next one plays in its entirety. I've had some issues with it. I need to find it. This one is a story. It's a story we must watch from beginning to end. This is our first place meme of the week, sent in to us by a Rururu in bulk himself. And because you are first place, you get the screen, sir. I believe there was supposed to be sound with it, but I never got it. This reminds me of the hype video.
Oh, I love this one.
Parker, fuck you, Brian. Oh, Swagboy over Supreme. Brian over the rest of the memes.
So this is now Brian's second straight being number one, right?
It fuels him because
Brian,
he can't win in THL.
Oh, fuck.
That's fucking fire.
Oh, fuck. I was just trying to say that he's an underrated, memer, and now we're just burying him. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm sorry, man. What was I just saying about not being that guy anymore? Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I'm trying not to be a bully, he says 5 minutes before just killing Brian. Fucking rip.
Oh man, sorry. During meme time, my filter goes. I just love the O face of McMahon here. Mange, I'm sorry, I I interrupted a great meme thought that you were having.
I'm just, three out of the 2 out of the 3 weeks, M Bulk has been the top memer. So, pretty underrated memer, and coming through clutch.
I feel like at the end of the season, we need to make some sort of celebratory poster for our top memer of the. Maybe that should be an award that the we give out a season 5 award, the top memer. Brian, great work, man. I'm sorry. God, I should not be allowed to ever speak publicly ever. I don't know why anybody lets me still do this show. All right, folks, that's it for tonight. I'm sorry for all those offended. And God, I'm never in my life going to be able to comment on. Part of the reason I avoid talking about entropy is that I don't have to talk about D lineman with him to my left. He's never going to let, even though I didn't ask the question, I chose to answer it. I was not the only one who wanted to answer it. I actually originally deleted that question from the Q&A, but it shall be my burden to wear, my burden to bear. Anyways, Mange, your parting thoughts for the night.
I ain't talking about chicken and gravy, biatch.
I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep. I might be back next week. I might just let D Lyman and Mange have the show. We'll see what happens, fam. Until then, bye.